Good morning and welcome back. This is a Shintaka ghost pepper John called John from Will It Grow. That's his seeds. There's a second one over there. Probably going to keep those in that size of a pot. Everything's growing so slowly. I've got some basil there that I can almost start to pick the tips now. You see this one here, I can pick that tip off and it will bush out. No, didn't happen. The ginger died again. Too dry here, maybe. I'm going to try and grow this in the sunroom over the summer. I don't know if I pointed this out to you before, but you see it's on the wicking mat, so the water is coming up from beneath. And this is what happens if you have more evaporation than you have infiltration of water, so there's more water being evaporated than is leaching down through. The salts come up with the water, and when the water evaporates, the salt is left on the surface, and that's what this is. You see the same thing in with the pepper plant. Tiny Tim down here is going excellent. Has a little bit of a dead leaf right there, but otherwise perfect. It's got a bunch of tomatoes coming here. There's another bunch low down somewhere. But I have more up here. This Tiny Tim is lighter in color. I got several ripe tomatoes off this one as well. But he's one ripening up right there. I wonder if I have to give that some fertilizer or what. Because like I said, he's awful light in color. I don't know what the pepper is until I get a pepper from it. I guess I won't know. I think it's probably a chocolate pepper, but it seems to want to grow again there now. You see I got some nice leaves on it right there. Aloe vera, that's coming along real nicely. And my lavender. Now I wanted to bring you out here because we had 3 or 4 nights that it got below freezing out here. And so this one, that's the hot Portugal mild pepper. And it looks like much of the top portion has died. See, it just snaps. So we'll see if it comes back from the root. This down here now, this here is the older portion, so this is probably still quite alive. See, this is my older pepper plants, and see, they're still quite green. Now that little bit of dead up there, I don't know if it was just dieback from where I clipped it off, or was it part of the cold weather. But that's the only dead portions. On the end of each branch there's a little bit. This one seems to have fared a little worse, but it's still green right up here, so it's still quite alive. This branch, tallest branch over here, you see, it's turning brown. That's why I knew that. Oh, and there's the other thing I wanted to show you. This is on now, the first big one. So it's got two little leaves there that's actually starting to grow now after the last cold snap. I don't know if they're going to stop again and grow later or what. But that's where two new shoots will come out now. If I had just cut it down, say about right there, I get two new branches there and another branch down there. So this one is doing, oh, I just realized that looks like a bit of growth right there as well. This is a chocolate pepper growing as a miniature. So it's been in this pot now for 2 years, 2.5 years. You can see that the below freezing temperatures did practically no damage to this one. This part, Mr. John, if you're watching, this is the one I had growing last year, and I planted directly in here, the Shiitake ghost pepper. It's actually looking green on the main stems up here. It's just the small stems. That's died from the cold. And this main stem here looks like it's okay, and it'll probably sprout right out once they say next month or something. This will probably start sprouting again. Rosemary doing wonderful here, so I'm happy with that. Now this is the yellow Picuno pepper. I started last winter, of course, and it grew very well. And with respect to withstanding the cold weather, doesn't seem to have been hurt at all. Just that little bit of brown, and not even as much as the chocolate pepper there, brown back from where I did the clipped off the ends. That I'm fairly certain, see. Then there's this one. I'm fairly certain that is just the dieback from the tip. And that's going to happen anyway, I think, if you cut them back. But the rest of the plant looks perfect. What is this one? I think I got two of each, so this one will be the same plant. Yeah. So they went through -1 Celsius fairly fine. And they're right over here in the corner, so they did get the coldest of the sunroom. And this is the hot Portugal mild. Now this one had died back more, it seems, right to here. Around about here. But the main stem all the way down from there looks good. And this one, there is, of course, it splits into two. I got two beautiful stems down there, which, no, that's not new growth. And then way up, this one died back 5 inches. This one died back quite a ways. So the ends are dying back. That's, I guess, why most people cut them back, because they figure they're going to have winter dieback anyway. I kept those. That's Australian brown, because I didn't get any sensible seed from Australian brown. What onions do I have? Because I had that one big one, which is probably Alyssa Craig. That's conserva shallots. And Red Spring. So Red Spring, conserva shallots, and Australian brown that I'm going to have out to grow to seed this coming year. And that big one, which I'm just going to grow it to seed and see what I get. I'm thinking it might be Alyssa Craig, but I don't know. Now, of course, you wouldn't expect tomatoes to make it through freezing temperatures, even light frost. This is that golden nugget, but it's actually not dead. The leaves down there look to be pretty good. So it's not a dead plant yet, even though it's looking worse for wear, of course. Yellow pepper, that's all gone, drooped down. And I'm just going to leave it because once you get down lower down here, it looks like this stalk looks really nice. And I'm like, well, I wonder if that'll start to grow again. Hey, gardening is an experiment, right? Now, you remember some time back, I put 2 different bushes in the seeds in for cold stratification. Sea buckthorn and spice bush. Now, sea buckthorn I got ready March the 4th on here. Spice bush is ready April the 4th. But I took them both out. Once it's getting up to the last few weeks before they're ready to come, it is a good idea to be checking on them because some of the seeds can germinate early. I don't expect spice bush because, like I say, they're not ready till April the 4th. And so you see, there's no movement here yet. Everything is just as I put them there. So I'll put these back in the fridge. I'll move this sea buckthorn over. I only got one plant the last time I attempted this, and that's the one that's growing out in the garden now. But when I look at this, I wonder, you see, it's sprouted. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think they have the greatest of germination anyway. Looks like that one started, but I can't see it quite yet. These grew some mold on them, but I don't think that matters. So looks like there's only 4. I mean, that's definitely sprouted. Let's see if I can give you a good close-up of them. There we go. So I have those 4 that sprouted. I forgot to press record. And now you don't get to see me. I put 1 seed of those 4 sprouted seeds, 1 seed in each of these little cups. they should fit in this container well. And I'm going to put them in here. And I'll keep checking on them every day, and if I see the leaves are up here or there's a root coming out the bottom, then I'll take them out and I'll put them in a bigger cup. I'll put the lid back on, and I'll put that in the fridge, continuing their cold stratification because they have another 3 weeks. And like I say, I'll keep checking on them. Also, I'll keep checking on the ones that are in here and put any that sprout into cups. I pitched the top off of this one just because I can and get my first taste of dark purple opal basil. That's tasty. I hope you enjoyed the update. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell to follow along, and I'll see you in the next video.